Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Zach Lajway. This week is National Public Health Week, recognizing how public health professionals work to promote our health, well-being, and safety. Today's focus is on healthy neighborhoods. Where we live directly impacts our lifestyle. One local nonprofit is helping bridge the gap between urban communities and their access to green spaces through its initiative, Healthy Outdoor Communities. Jennifer Boley with Nature and Eclectic Outdoors Project is joining me this morning to talk about the work being done. Good morning.
Hi, Zach. Good morning.
I bet in a city this size, you're extremely busy.
Yes, always very busy, as are all of our partners.
Talk to us about how you got started with this endeavor.
Yeah, so Nature and Eclectic Outdoors, we started as kind of a hiking and outdoors group. Most people know us as NEO. And we do free and low-cost events open to the public every week that get people breathing more fresh air outdoors. We were doing activities in local parks regularly and noticed repeatedly that we would be the only people in the park on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in a nice green park. And we saw that as an issue. So after speaking with people about the causes behind why community members weren't using their free local green spaces, we launched the Healthy Outdoor Communities initiative and brought on tons of community-based partners, larger partners, government agencies, health systems, and with very generous funding from the Hogg Foundation for Mental Health, we started focusing efforts in Third Ward and Acres homes within Houston to see if we could make a difference in community health, well-being, and resilience by promoting better access to their local parks and green spaces.
When you talk about promoting that access, Jennifer, bridging those gaps, what does that look like when you go into these urban communities talking about green spaces?
You know, when we first started having discussions with community members, we got some pushback by community members saying, you know, we work 3 jobs. We don't have time to take our kids to the park, or there were safety issues. There, you know, was a shooting last week. I don't feel safe taking my kids to the park. There were all kinds of those types of issues. But when we kind of broadened the conversation and said, okay, we understand you guys have bigger fish to fry, tell us about them. And when we just let community members and organizations talk, they kind of came back around to the idea that if they had more equitable access to parks and green spaces, that could actually help mitigate some of the challenges they were having as a community. And so we went from there. And one thing that kind of makes us different from a lot of initiatives and collaboratives is that we really, I always tell community members, you tell me what you think you need and want, and then it's my job to figure out how to make that happen. So really the community members and organizations are my boss. and we just go on what they say they need and work from there. It could be programming. It could be training opportunities. It could be just giving a particular organization or project a boost through either volunteers or money. It could be any number of things, but the community members decide what that looks like.
That's really awesome. Putting the ball in their court, right? Giving them the opportunity to be listened to and heard. With that said, talk to us about some of the opportunities for folks to get involved, particularly our youth as we inch closer to those summer months.
Yes, one thing we started, because the Hogg Foundation, when we were awarded funding to do work in Acres homes, and Third Ward, they said, you know, this is really, we want to help families, but we want to especially help children and young people. And so if we're doing programming that's supposed to benefit children and young people, they should obviously be in the decision-making process. So we have our Healthy Outdoor Communities Youth Leadership Council. We are still recruiting for youth leaders in Acres Homes and Third Ward, either who go to school or live in the community, to be a part of that. And these young people have an equal voice with community members and adults in the room. They also get paid for certain activities. They get service credit, service hour credit, which some of them need for different high school graduation programs. They get free training opportunities, free leadership development. We actually were able to take one of our Youth Leadership Council members, Asuncion Sanchez, on a week-long trip to the Colorado Rockies to participate in an international conference, the Children in Nature Network Conference. He came back from that conference and recruited another classmate, Daniela Putzais, to submit a session to host at the statewide Children in Nature Network Conference, the Texas Children in Nature Network Conference. They were the only high school students chosen to present at that conference. They did a great job in their presentation. 95% of the participants who were surveyed afterwards said they could take something back with them to implement in their own programming and organizations. So that's an amazing thing for those students to be able to put on a college application, a job application, their resume. And that's another perk. We will actually provide reference letters for those students who are participating in our Youth Leadership Council.
That's such a huge opportunity, a really cool opportunity. Jennifer, talk to us about the event that you have planned next week, I believe, or is it tomorrow in Acres Homes?
You know, there are so many events coming up, and really it's not us that planned them. It's the community-based organizations. It's our partners that are putting on these events, but we just help support in any way we can. There's the Acres Homes Community Celebration, Acres Homes Day going on at Carver High School on Thursday. Drew Academy in Acres Homes is having an event on Saturday. We have in Third Ward, an event that Healthy Outdoor Communities helped launch, and the community has really taken the bull by the horns and continued it on as an annual event. The Third Ward on Tap event is coming up on May 11th. Armed Services Day is coming up with Houston Praise and Worship Center, which is another partner. We're so fortunate to have so many partners. And again, it's them telling us what they want and need, and then us figuring out how we can make it happen for them. And but all of those events are happening completely driven by the community, not by NEO or really HOC or me. We're just giving the little nudge and support that they might need.
A full agenda that really replicates why the community cares and how they care, showing that they support one another is huge. For folks watching right now, people watching, wanting to get involved, how do you suggest they start? Where should they go? How should they begin this involvement?
Sure. If you want to be involved in Nature and Eclectic Outdoors, NEO, start getting invitations to all of our weekly community events that, once again, are free or low cost. Go to our meetup page at meetup.com/NEO Houston. And then to learn more about NEO and particularly our Healthy Outdoor Communities initiative and collaborative work, go to neoproject.org/HOC.
Awesome. All great information. Jennifer, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. Have a great day.
We do appreciate it.